Om Asato Ma Satkamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Mother, we invoked you with our prayers and with all the devotees that you distribute and spread this knowledge of the Vedanta through us, through this voice, and may this awareness and awakening take place and take us holding our hands into the state of the TURIYA in this life alone. In this journey, remembering the words of Swami Vivekananda, we need to hold on to those 4 A's. First A is the Abhay. Be absolutely fearless and know that you are protected all the time. Second is hold on to the A for Ahimsa. No hostile words, no hostile thoughts, no hostile gestures, no harming anyone. Third, Asangha. I am totally detached. Even the strongest of the attachment of the mother and the baby. Mother's hand falls off when she goes off to deep sleep, holding the baby throughout the day, even putting on to sleep. But the moment she falls off to deep sleep, her hand falls off, totally detached, and does it very happily. That asanga is what we need to take up towards this journey towards TURIYA. And Ananda. Once you attain, and that's the journey, and we shall. If, in the words of Vivekananda, you and I have to absolutely ingrain it strongly in the heart, that if it is not only Jesus Christ or Buddha or Vivekananda, it is your and my right too. So let us take it up. We have taken up the study of the TURIYA in 2 sessions, and now how do we experience this TURIYA journey? 3rd session. The TURIYA is the ultimate state. The ultimate reality is this reality of the TURIYA. The spiritual beings, we believe, is that we are human beings. We are taking up this journey to take TURIYA to have a spiritual experience. We are human beings. We think you and I are very simple with our body and the mind and the name and the personality and a form. Taking up a journey like going into samadhi is the yogic way we are taking on, having a great journey to a spiritual experience. Whereas in the Vedanta, it's going on and saying, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Know it, start believing in it, start feeling it, repeat it to yourself again and again and again. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Mano buddhi chitta ahankar na aham. We are not this mind, not the body, not the ego, not the memory, not I am not I. That big I is I, not the small I with the ego. In these journeys, the Mahavakyas take you to the leading. Who am I? Aham Brahmasmi. I am Atman Brahman. Anubhavavaka. I am Atman Brahman. Prajnana Brahman. The TURIYA is alone the reality, the consciousness, Prajnana alone is the reality of the world. Nothing else is the world which is real. Tat Tvam Asi. You are that. It is. We understand because we have grown up right from childhood, the way we have grown up. Remember the 6 changes that the body has gone through? Jayate, we were born. And because we born, remember, recollect, the existence is me. Existence is dog and dolphin. So, Jayate, born, I come into existence. Asti, I am. Jayate, asti, vartate, then we grow and keep on changing through the small and then little bigger and 6, 7, 8 and then become teenagers and then grow into an adulthood and then continue to go on to 21 and want to be forever 21. But we keep on changing. If we do some great Hatha Yoga practices and gluten-free diet, yes, you will do great justice, like you do justice to your car by maintaining, to your computer, to your mobile. Yes, you should. We should do the maintaining of our body and maintain balanced food diet and maintain the body and health. But remembering all the time, this is not I. This is the body in which the temple is by Turiya reality state is existing. And this is the mind with which I am procuring the knowledge and the wisdom, but it is illuminating by the Turiya, by the consciousness, through the senses, from the body coming into the mind. It's getting illuminated and I'm becoming aware of the world. And with that, the journey is still non-stop, step by step, date by date, abhay, ahimsa, asanga, ananda, state, keeping it in mind, strong, determined status, maintaining viveka, knowing what is right, what is wrong, holding on to the right thing, and discarding the real, called vairag. Shata sampatti, shama, dhamma, controlling of senses, calmness of mind. Uparati, not letting the mind go outwards. These are all steps towards I want to experience Turiya. Getting it inwards. Things are not out there. Things are in here. Once we get connected to this in here, take the journey in here, automatically the things out there for which we are going, promises are great. It is going to come to us all at once, not in bits and pieces, like we've been working and getting little bit and being very happy. Clouded sky, a little bit of blue patch of happiness, ananda comes in. I got that, I was very lucky. Now, continue to work, detachment. Sacrifice. Why should we sacrifice? Why not have sensual enjoyments and fun and eating and pleasures and, the going out, outing and shopping and the bars and the hotels? Because when we go ahead and do the self-control, when we do that restraining, you become stronger. You attain titiksha, status of controlling, and then shraddha, respect for the teacher, for the Vedanta, for the gurus, for our Paramahansa Yogananda's guru, Sri Yukteswar Giri Lahari Mahasaya, Swami Vivekananda, and Holy Mother Sharada, Paramahansa Ramakrishna. The God alone existed. Babaji Mahavatar with Krishna granting us Yoga Kshema. Gita, Bhagavad Gita, he has spoken, I shall grant you if you surrender to me. And we are surrendering to the Supreme. Dvaitavad, and Sankhya philosophy and Advaita. So we are combining all, practice all. Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, going into the Divine Mother. Advaitavad, in which one alone exists. And who is that one? Turiya, you, with the Turiya in you. So, we have been taking a lot of time, a lot of studies, and this is the very famous Mandukya Upanishad. This was very kindly written down by a great monk, saintly monk, Swami Nikhilananda. And this is God, the beautiful. Those of you who can, those of you interested, do some self-studies, find out. This is with Gaurapada's Karika and also Shankaracharya's commentary on Gaurapada's Mandukya and also on the Karika. Shankaracharya's comments are there along with explanations. So it's a beautiful book. Recollect 1 to 2. There are only 12 in the Mandukya Upanishad, such a big, only 12 mantras. First and 2, say 2 mantras, recollecting, refreshing, we have gone over them, is only the introductory part, telling us about it. And 3 to 7 is talking about investigations. Investigations on 2 things. One is self, and the second is Om. Om. So self is 3 to 7. Mantras are talking about, and the 7th mantra is the most powerful mantra of Mandukya. Recollect, Hanuman asked Ramachandran, if I wish to attain moksha, attain oneness, what do I have to do? And Ramachandran had told him, study Mandukya Upanishad. One alone, that one book alone, this book is so powerful, alone would take you. And in case it doesn't happen, then you have to study 110 Upanishads, totally all of them. In which the 7th mantra is the most powerful. And 8 to 12 mantras take us to study of Om. We have done that. Wherever necessary, we shall recollect them, go back to our sessions earlier. Now today, I'm going to give you a very powerful, strong statement, and possibly your mind will start to begin to have an objection to this. We believe that when we go to a place, new place, we have never been there. Let's say I have never been to Kailash. So I go to Kailash. So existence is going to, now I am going to know about Kailash once I go down there. Kailash, Manasarovar. I have never been there. I go there, I come to know about Kailash, Manasarovar. So once I have been there, then I know about Kailash, Manasarovar. I say, that means what? That existence of Kailash Manasarovar, first I experienced that, then came the knowledge. Knowledge of Manasarovar, knowing about the place, going around the temple. This is how we know. We have never been to, let's say, Kedarnath. Some of you have been there. Let's say, before I went there, after I go there, I come to know about Kedarnath. Now, this is how we know. So, the existence of Kedarnath came first, and then came the knowledge of Kedarnath. Existence of Kailash Manasarovar came to us first, and then the knowledge of Kailash Manasarovar came. This is how we have grown all along. Vedanta is saying now, existence is not possible without knowledge. How? I've not been to Kailash Manasarovar. How can existence of Kailash Manasarovar Not possible without knowledge. I didn't know about it. No, we did. We did study. We knew something. Very little maybe. We did more studies. We went through the internet. We went through the books. We studied about other great masters. We knew about Kedarnath. We made the plans. We know how to go, whether by helicopter or by the mule or by walking. We know where we are going. The knowledge brings existence. Knowledge will bring into reality the existence. Now, how is this important? It's very important to go towards that Turiya state, and this is the Vedanta is talking about. Let's say two objects can exist. These are some set of pens, and this is Mandakya Upanishad. This is Mandakya Upanishad. This is a set of pen. They both exist separately. They cannot mix up with each other. This has got a name and a form and a function. This has got a name and a form and a function. Now they two are separately existing. Now think. Gold, ornament, ring, necklace, bangle. Three different objects. One who has never seen gold or never heard about. He knows about being a child growing up and now knowing this is a gold ring, this is a gold necklace, this is a gold bangle. And knows that there is it made out of gold. And he thinks gold is the fourth object. And supposing he was told a necklace, that this is gold necklace. The next time he wants to see gold, he would be seeing, as a child, that necklace. Recently we went to a gold jewelry shop. I was looking at every one of them, but what is important is the gold alone exists in everyone. Now, strong statement. All the ornaments came out of gold, and they'll submerge back into gold when you met them. Every one of our experiences, existence of everything is coming out of Turiya and will merge back into Turiya. So there is a beautiful example in Vedanta they give. In the even today in some grocer shops, baniya shops, if you want to go and say take 1 kg of dal, most really they've got packed now. This is our town shops or Dorabji or something like that. But if you still go to some shops in the villages and all that, they have a little 1 kg can, and they take let's say the moong dal or the rice. They take the moong dal and put it into that can. The can up to a certain line, when it fills up, they know this is 1 kg, and what they're saying, it vanishes, the dal vanishes into the can, and then they pour it out into your bag and it comes out of the can. Everything merges back into the gold as per the gold ornament, and it comes out of the gold again. The ocean and the waves and the bubbles and the froth, they come out of water as they exist in thousands of waves, maybe 10,000, 20,000 waves. But they're all dual. Different name, different form, different size, different shape, different properties of each wave. Tsunami has a different wave property, middle range wave and a small bubble and a froth and a little wave are different. But all have non-duality of oneness when I say they are of water. Oneness. You watch many movies, many pictures, but the television screen or the picture screen in the hall is one. Reminds me of a village boy. He was in village. There were no picture halls and all that. The father said once, okay, come on, I'll take you to the nearest little bigger town and show you a picture. And he talked on the way about a big screen, a white screen, and the screen will have pictures, and we are going to see Mahabharata. So happened they had to travel a lot. By the time they reached, it's very important for this story to understand, picture had already started. Very important. Picture had already started. Then actually the boy has never seen a picture like that. And he's so excited. And he sees Krishna, Arjuna talking, all the warriors are standing, trumpets are blowing, conch, shankars are blowing, and he's very engrossed. And as he settles down, he leans to his father and whispers, Father, you talked about a screen. Which is the screen? Is Arjuna the screen? Father said, no, no, no. It's behind him. The boy said, behind him? That is Krishna is the screen? He said, no, 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 behind him. He said, behind Krishna. Okay, I understand. It's the chariot. He said, no, 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 it's behind that. He said, behind that? Okay, I understand. All those warriors, that Kauravas standing there, that's the screen. Father said, no, 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 behind that. Son says, that means that sky which is showing on the screen, that is the screen. Can you understand the confusion? Son has not seen the screen. Son has not seen the gold. He sees the ornament. He sees the picture. Now notice, screen is totally unattached. Whether the movie is placed totally detached or not being played, and it's just affected. Whether Godzilla comes or the King Kong comes, whether the Empire State Building is getting destroyed or the bridges are being broken, or there is an earthquake or a volcano. It's not attached. With a love scene going on, war scene going on, screen is not attached. Turiya is not attached to our pains, to our sufferings, to our changes. Jayate, asti, vardate. Then viparikshrakshate. It settles down into a plateau. 6 changes of the body settles down, the middle age. And then aparikshyate starts to change, retardation, degeneration of the body. Yes, gluten-free yoga will help it to sustain little longer, but it is going to happen. And then nakshate, it shall obliterate, destroy, back into the body, earth into body, body into earth, which shall go back. Turiya is the only one which is unattached, totally detached, and is always in joy, always in one awareness called consciousness. So, getting back to that important strong statement, existence depends on knowledge. The knowledge has to be there for it to come into existence. You will say, come on, there are so many planets, there are so many asteroids, I don't know anything about it. No, that not existence of knowing is non-existence of that, but that is also a knowledge. Without that knowledge of the black hole, you don't know anything what is there, but that not knowing is also a knowledge. A blind cannot see, but the blind knows, I cannot see. So the existence is of the blindness becoming visible because of the knowledge. Now, knowledge must have a knower and known. Knowledge must have a knower, and there has to be a known, a knowable. Now, the known cannot know unless there is awareness, unless there consciousness. What we are taking the journey is the Turiya. Unless there is Turiya, there is consciousness, which is otherwise Atman or awareness. No one cannot know anything. You cannot hear, you cannot see, you cannot learn, you cannot eat, sleep, do anything without that consciousness, the Turiya, the awareness. So, the knower knows through the consciousness the knowledge. Now, understand this. Connecting to, if something is dependent onto another, recollect, it is called false. As per Vedanta, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but it is called false as per Vedanta. Remember the example of the hot potato? Hot potato, its heat is a falsitude because it is borrowed quality. It is not intrinsic quality of the potato. Where did it get its heat from? It got it from the hot water. Hot water got its heat from the hot pot. It is false. Also, the hot pot's heat is false. Falsitude because it borrowed it from the fire. But the fire has its intrinsic quality of the heat. So how are they connecting? The falsitude of the hot potato, hot water, hot pan is dependent onto the fire. The Turiya state is actually creating, and our study of the self, Mandukya Upanishad, 3rd to 7th mantra, is talking about self. Awakened self, dream self, deep sleep state. Jagrata, Swapna, Sushupti is dependent onto Turiya. Remember Omkar? We have gone through it. Is the waking state. U is the dream state. Is the deep sleep state. Now look carefully. In the waking state, Jagrat state, we think we are our body and the name and the form. It is ignorance, and ignorance creates an error thinking I am this. Knowledge is not there, so we are ignorant, because of which we think we are this. Same thing goes on to, so what exists in Jagrat? Ignorance and error. Look at the dream state. It's the same thing. We have left our body on the bed, the form on the bed, mind is on the bed, but another creation of the mind goes into the dream state. There is a body, there is another name in a form, which is I. It does not say I, Robbin Ghosh, but somehow there is one I is going around, which is the mind with another body. There is ignorance, there is error in dream state. So Jagrat and Swapna have got ignorance and error. And in deep sleep state, there is no error because there is no mind. He cannot experience anything, but there is only ignorance. Ignorance of, in deep sleep state, not knowing that I am the consciousness. I am the Turiya. It is blank. It doesn't have any knowledge. But ignorance is still there. It is not. Awaken as you do when you go on to the Turiya. In Turiya state, there is no ignorance, there is no error, there is always an awareness every moment. And when you leave your body, awareness will continue. Consciousness will continue. The body will die. Mind will form into something else. We will talk about it some other time. With the Panchakosha and the mind, Sukshma Sharira, we'll deal with that session. But the body is going to die. Consciousness is going to continue in another state. This Turiya is what we are trying to realize. How should we do that? So, in which recollect the intrinsic quality of the Turiya state. It is not dependent, but the deep sleep state, the dream state, and the awakened state, it is dependent on to Turiya. Turiya is intrinsic. Deep sleep state is blank, but there is a seed in it. And that seed, when you wake up from deep sleep, comes in the dream state and to the awakened state. And even if you wake up suddenly, you go straight into the awakened state. But that awakened state, that money that you have in the bank, awareness, that money that you have paid to the bank, that awareness, or your chore, your name, your form, your family, everything comes into immediately. Or that happiness and the joy, or that cheerfulness of a new car or a house that you bought, or the pain that you have been suffering from, or the sickness or the disease. So, look, the awakened state is different from different people. Your awakened state, my awakened state is different. Yours is different from your husband, from your wife, from your parent, from your children, from your friends. So is mine. Yours is different from mine. Dream state is also different. I cannot have your dreams, you cannot have my dreams. You cannot have your children's dream, or husband or wife's dreams, or parents' dream. They're different. But in the deep sleep state, all deep sleep state is one. There is no difference. Once you go on, the king's deep sleep state is the beggar's deep sleep state. A warrior's deep sleep state and an actor's deep sleep state, they're all one. And there is oneness in the consciousness state, Turiya. There is no difference. And the moment we realize we are all one consciousness, one water, we are taking on that journey toward that oneness. Taking on. Knower and the known will merge together and become one, called the Turiya. Now, what we will do, there are various paths toward this. Path of belief, path of faith, path of experience called the yoga, path of knowledge, which is what we are following. Once you know about Turiya, once you're aware, once you know that this body, this awakened state, I am only acting, I'm an actor, I'm an actress, experiencing a spiritual being, experiencing a human experience. Once you know the dream state, it was a dream. Once you know I had a good sleep, but this is not I. That Turiya is there in the deep sleep, there in the dream, there in the awakened state. Intrinsic is Turiya alone. With that, we take up the next step of the journey. These four states that we talked about, there's a beautiful technical name. You should know about it. The Jagrat state in Sanskrit is called Jagrat, but there is a beautiful Vedantic name, and it's called Vishwa. You experience the Vishwa, the world. The dream state is called Tvajasa. It's the Vedantic name of the dream state. And the deep sleep state is called Prajna. Vishwa, let me repeat that. Vishwa, Tvajasa, Prajna. And the fourth is the Turiya. Remember, Turiya is actually not fourth. Only one thing alone exists, and that's what we have taken up the journey, a sown journey. I hope you all have made up your titiksha. Absolutely. We are going to experiencing this life alone. And if you take up the journey, and perchance, supposing you don't, Vedanta says your bank balance of this spiritual journey will go to the next birth and will take you on exactly from where you have left it. It's not lost. So take up the journey and more. Vishva Tvajasa Prajna Turiya state, in which I am remembering two statements. One is Carl Jung. Those of you read stories of our great masters, Vivekananda, after Vivekananda, Carl Jung, when he read his book, he said, every word of his makes my hair stands up, my blood starts to soar. This was the power of Vivekananda's word. Only strength. Every time, I remember 1971 war, 1978 war, most of you didn't know about it when I was participating. I remember for 26 days we were stuck in the operation room, didn't even go home. We were in the same flying overall and eating and same just wash our face, and we're fighting. Got a time to come back for 2 hours to go and wash up and change clothes. Came back, and then I had, after freshening up, little time. I was all alone. I went around to my library, got attracted to it, and picked up Vivekananda's Raja Yoga book. And that power which Carl Jung is talking about is, I could feel it. All that exhaustion, everything vanished, just read a few words. I used to carry that small book always. I carry it with me. Whenever I turn a few pages of the books from Paramahansa Yogananda, books from Vivekananda, books from Paramahansa Ramakrishna, and the books of other beautiful natures like Mandukya. Now, Carl Jung was once asked by a reporter, do you have faith in God? Do you believe in God? Carl Jung said, I do not believe God. I know God. So notice the difference of the yogic principles and the Advaita, of the Bhakti Marg and the Raja Yoga with Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga Marg. What we are doing is every one of them we are practicing, but only by Bhakti. I believe in God. I pray to God. I fear God. Even Paramahansa Ramakrishna is saying in Kathamrita in the second volume that Taka Mati Taka in Bengali, he picked up some coins in his hand and picked up some earth, and he said, this coin and this earth, they're same, and he threw both of them into the river. And then he's saying, and then I felt bad, I felt scared. I hope Mother Lakshmi doesn't get scared and punish me. And then he said, no, what I will do now, I will get Mother Lakshmi. I don't want the money, I don't want the earth, I will go straight for the mother. And that's all the story he talks about, the Mother Kali and things like that. So same way, I just thinking, just see the power of Carl Jung. He says, I know God. This is called Advaita, knowledge. This is a journey from not knowing to knowing. Asato ma satkamaya, tamaso ma jyoti kamaya. Automatically mrityur ma mritam kamaya. So, in this journey, taking up, now one more thing, just before we start up, we will finish it with a little meditation today. Get set. While you're doing that, did you know that there is something called, study of ignorance? Did you know that? I didn't know till I started studying more and more around. There is in New York a school, And the school's name is also beautiful name and funny. It's called New School, though it is not new, it's quite old. Study of ignorance. And when I heard about that, and when I started looking into it, you know what? Why is this visit so important for you and me today? Study of ignorance. There is, Google it, Amazon.com, Book of Ignorance. Second volume, second edition is coming out. What is the important part of it? That this study of ignorance existence in Vedanta thousands of years ago. Upanishads have talked about Ajnana Vichara, ignorance study. Isn't it wonderful? What rich heritage we have. We have to see if we can take a little time out and start delving into it. Now, remember the classic example? I'm shifting now. That's enough for that. 3 people went off to the temple, and as they went to the temple, and somebody said, oh, on the way I saw, they went from the same road. He said, did you all notice there was a snake on the road? The other man said, no, it is not a snake. I have seen that. It's not a snake. It's a crack on the road. Last year there was an earthquake, so there was a crack. This, by the way, Vedantic, typical, classic example of 3 error. One said, I saw a snake. Second said, no, it was not a snake. It was only a crack in the earth. And third said, no, neither a crack nor a snake. It was a dried up garland. Somebody had thrown it there. All 3 are errors. What was there was a rope. A rope alone existed, but nobody saw the rope. The reality couldn't be seen. We are seeing the 3 errors, Jagrat, Swapna and Susupti. We are forgetting to realize, want to know about Turiya. We are pretty happy being that awakened state and playing around and eating and sleeping and procreating and going off to sleep and waking up again. Earning little money and going on and progressively viparit nakshate and thereafter degenerating and nashate, dying away. Let us do what Vivekananda said. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Settle down. Let us do a short meditation on a similar line, but slightly different than what we had done last time. Sit with the right posture, whether on the ground or in the chair. Don't come into this state of the meditation with the worries, with the thoughts of sickness or disease or problems. Come into this state with only abhay, ahimsa, asanga, ananda. Sit straight, shoulders square. I have this body is not me. I have this mind which is with thousands of thoughts, but I am going to take up this journey. Shoulders square, right over left, dhyana mudra or jnana mudra. Sitting comfortably, hands resting on the junction of the thigh and the body. Chin little up, not down. You will not be able to have positive, good thoughts. Chin should be parallel to the ground or maybe little up. Beginning now. Being still. Fix your body. Listen out. Become aware of my voice. Become aware of the sounds. loud sound, faint sounds coming around the place of your house or wherever you're sitting. Become aware of the fresh air which is around. Become aware of the ground underneath your feet, underneath your bottom. Become aware of the chair if you're sitting on a chair or a sofa. I am that awareness. I am that consciousness. I'm aware of the sounds coming from the darkness beyond the room, beyond the house, coming. Become aware of the presence of the people. Become aware of the absence, if it be so, of the people. Become aware of your body. Of your toe, of your legs, of your body, of the neck. Become aware of your face. Become aware of the Ananda, top of the head, chakra. Become aware of your breath. Breathing in, become aware of the cool sensation at the tip of the nose. Don't follow the breath. Become aware of the warm sensation of the breath as you're breathing out. Breathing in, be aware of the coolness at the tip of the nose. Become aware of the warmth of the nostril as we breathe out. As you breathe in, count silently, mentally, 1. As you're breathing out, count silently, 2. As you breathe in, count silently, 3. As you breathe out, count silently, 4. Like that, count up to 10. After 10, start again. 1 to 10. Be aware of the coolness of the breath and the tip of the nose. Be aware of the warmth at the tip of the nose as you breathe out. Be aware of the tremendous consciousness from entire universe around me, around the house, coming into me as I breathe in with tremendous energy of healing and strength and the power of oneness with Brahman, TURIYA. As I breathe out, as I count, I'm breathing out all that bothers me. Breathe in strength, breathe out problems and weaknesses. Become aware of the strength coming from the darkness into your body filled with light. As you breathe out, throwing away all the darkness from within, and you're becoming brighter and brighter. Become aware and becoming brighter. My body is getting illuminated like a glow. Breathing out, I'm getting more bright. Breathing in, I'm getting brighter. After the second round of 10, start the third round. Breathing in, feel consciousness, light, energy coming in. Feel the coolness at the tip of the nose. Breathing out, feel the warmth of the nose. And feel I'm sending out tremendous energy, healing to the world outside, to the people who needs healing, to my nearest ones, to those who are far away. We all are one, sending energy to them. Breathing in, receiving energy. I am becoming more bright, illuminated, and I am sending out energy, and yet this consciousness is infinite, unlimited energy, healing power. I'm glowing with it. Third round of 10, finishing. In case you forget or make a mistake, whether it was 5 or 7, you need to do that whole round of 10 once again. Breathing in, going into the real state of the meditation, feeling the coolness at the tip of the nose, feeling brilliant light coming from the darkness to me. I'm sending out light as I breathe out. I am Atman Brahman. I am the Brahman. Become aware of the fourth state of the Turiya, which is I. Thoughts are coming. Thoughts are going out. Become aware. Become aware of the feelings of the joy. Become aware of the feelings of sadness and sorrow. They are coming into me. I am the witness, the Turiya. Become aware of the pain which is there in this body, but that is not me. I'm aware of the pain. I'm aware it would stay and will go away. I'm helping it to go away. Become aware of the feelings because of my Turiya. I am the Turiya. I am the awareness. I am the Brahman. Brilliance of sun's rays of light. I am the light. I fall on holy water, not attached. I don't become holy. I am the purer one. I throw my light of awareness onto dirty objects. They become pure. I am not becoming dirty. My body may be in pain, but my awareness is not in pain. I am detached. Those feelings will come and they will go away. Brightness of Ananda will stay. Take 3 long breaths. Pleasant smile in the face. Chant with me Omkar. Be aware of the silence. Be aware of waking, dreaming, deep sleep, and silence. Be aware of the Turiya. Finish with a silent prayer.